Should we have proof of citizenship to vote in this country?
Me personally, I don't see why not. Like
Why not?
you're just showing that you're a U.S. citizen. You can vote. It has
Right,
that has nothing to do of oppression or of any other
right.
type of people. It's just simple fact. It's just, hey, yeah, I'm a real person. Here's my ID. Here, take it as that. Yeah, I want to hop on this plane. Yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. Or here's my passport.
Right.
Hey, here, take that. Take that. It's
Right.
it's not really a big deal in my perspective. You know what I'm saying? But the ones who have an
See-
issue with they think it's so oppressive is because they, again,
They're probably illegal.
the 600 non-registered U.S. You know what I'm saying? Like, there you have it. So I
Right,
mean,
right.
maybe there's a connection there.
It's a couple things though. It's a couple things with that. Ironically, which I think is weird, right? That they ultimately, by statistics, they think a person that's a non-U.S. citizen would always vote Democratic, right? Which is, I mean, I think that's ironic because why would you just automatically think a person who is a non-U.S. citizen would just be like, oh, I'm gonna vote Democratic on the Democratic side? They might vote on the Republican side, right? So it is weird. I always find that very strange that they would say an illegal person they're gonna vote for a Democrat because I guess they align with more democratic values. That's the one side of things that I think is strange.
Oh, it's such an assumption, right?
It's really an assumption because you can't necessarily say, first of all, if somebody is a non-citizen, you know what I mean? They're not, obviously, if they're voting illegally, they're not putting down whether they're a Democrat or Republican. So how would you know that they're voting on the Democratic ticket? So that's one thing that's
one,
strange.
yeah.
And
Which
then
is supposed to be confidential.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And then the second thing with the voter ID, I'm always torn on this. I'm always torn on voter ID because logically, I think, yes, you got to show identification to go buy liquor. You got to show an identification if you get pulled over in your car. You got to show identification when you basically do anything to get into a nightclub.
Right.
Show identification for a lot of just normal everyday things. The only problem I ever have with saying you need to show identification, I get concerned in some of the cities and towns that are smaller that try to pull like some type of tricks with their own voter fraud. Whereas I go back into the civil rights days where they used to make, African Americans jump through hoops to vote. And also as well, Mexican Americans as well too. They do that to them, to make them do wild things. I was telling Maul one time I read an article where they put a whole bunch of marbles in a jar, right? And they put them on a table, and anybody that was African American, they would say, how many marbles are in here? You got to guess that, like an IQ test where you got to guess how many marbles in there before you can vote. And obviously nobody's going to get that question right? Because you know what I mean? So it's like, so stuff like that does concern me on the showing voter ID, because when you start adding these levels of verification, where does it stop? Because you say, okay, we need voter ID to vote. Then all of a sudden you'll need voter ID and your birth certificate to vote. Then all of a sudden you'll need voter ID, your birth certificate, and some other document to vote. And then where does it stop? I always do get a little weary with over government when you start over governing things, because there's no end to it. But then on the reverse side, right? Like that's why I'm torn, because then on the reverse side, and then if you have no laws behind it, then you open up the floodgates. So I'm still torn with it. And I thought I would have a decision, but I don't.
I understand that concept, because I feel the same way with this whole real ID crap. My driver, it's the same information. The only difference is it's his real ID on it. That's the only difference. Yeah. Same birthday, same driver's license number, same person, same photo, everything. But real ID you can't use it as a real ID to fly domestic anymore unless it says real ID, which is weird to me. I'm like, I'm
wow.
Yeah. I use my passport. I don't even bother. I don't even bother with the ID anymore.
Yeah. I understand that, bro. It is a little weird.
It starts to get right.
Oh, this is crazy. It's getting crazy. I ain't never heard nothing. Like, look, you gotta be updated, man. They change stuff so fast. You sitting there, I'm listening to you. I'm like, real ID? What we doing here? It's what you just said. It's just what you said. This where it does become over governing. Yeah. This where you be like anti-voting agenda. Listen, So here's what this is what we have to look at. And this is individually in our homes, right? As we come up, especially if we got kids. You have to participate in the agendas that you believe that you can be impactful in, because there's always going to be an agenda. So you just gotta, you know what I mean? This is a chess match, right? We gotta say, all right,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm gonna go into this arena, this what comes with this arena. The crazy part is though, there is no real play for us in the federal arena locally. I'm just being honest. If you haven't played locally and you're not in the federal arena, it's no reason to play there. Maximize your local impact, right? And if all this comes up, the good part is, listen. I used to be anti-vote, man. I think that was more because of the cults that I was in once upon a time. But
Mm-hmm.
now I told my wife, I said, you know what? It's so much that we miss out on that we can get for ourselves. I'm talking local
Local.
grants,
Mm-hmm.
just that we don't know exists, and folks come in and snatch it up. So while you complaining, you don't show up to the community meetings, and they invite you. They send texts now. They come in the form of spam. You could join groups, right? And you can be in the know. But can I be honest? If you're just one of those that is just complaining, like the Orange Man is complaining, there's no reason for it. You're back in office. You can only run 2 terms. You got 2 terms eventually. To just be complaining, you know what it does? It sets the avenue for people to complain. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
question is, what area of impact, and I still believe it even more now, vote on it. You don't like it? Let's put this up for a vote and vote for people that will get behind the actions in which you believe to the best of, because it's not going to perfectly align. So you want to get, because I used to say, and I used to tell you this, Jamal, I ain't voting if it ain't dead on. And I realized that's not logical. Even as a, you know what I mean?
It's
So
not
you want to get
unrealistic.
it's not realistic.
It's
So
not
you want to
unrealistic.
get as close to what their track record is, right?
Mhm.
And then you got to make a choice. And they're going to get some stuff done, and they may not. But what is their track record to getting specific items done? Then you align your ideals with it. And now here's the other thing. Then you go out and make the change. Instead of talking, okay, I've voted. I've done that right. Now, how can I go out here and affect change to the best of my ability? While I'm doing those 2 things, I promise you, you won't be getting caught up in the news of complaining about what isn't fair. Man, it ain't fair. It is an agenda. It's everything that we're mentioning in here. And I would get a headache. Like I'm reading this article. Look, just listen to this. They argue overgoverning leads to, right, anti-voting agenda that would disproportionately disenfranchise eligible U.S. citizens. You see how that get all crazy? Like you said, over government. So you know what? The better solution is align your ideals with who you want in office, hold them accountable, but that's not enough. Then go out, get off the bench, and go do something. We can do something about what we, the change. Be the change you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't hold them accountable, hold the signs up.
Hold the signs up. Pick it.
You know?
Yeah, it's tough because people have this weird fear of government, right? Even just the thought, people have this weird fear of government, and I think some of it's by design, and others is just sentiment. You know what I mean? From reading history books or what somebody's told you, you know what I mean? Word of mouth, and you just get this fear in your mind,
All right.
like I can't do anything.
Ignorance.
You know what I mean? Yep, ignorance. I can't do anything. The powers that be are bigger than my little voice, So I'm just a cog in the wheel, so to speak. But the thing is, when you break down the layers and you get to your local government, one person actually makes a huge change.
Yeah.
And that's I think where people fail to realize that and fail to understand that, right? I wind up going to I speak at I gotta speak at a council meeting on Monday, but and then obviously I'm on the Parks and Recreation Community Services. So, you know what I mean? I got to be in council chambers once a month, stuff like that. But it was like, at first, you know, it is a little intimidating, right? To speak in front of all these people and to voice your concerns, it's a little intimidating because you have passion, but you want it to sound right, and you don't want to get up there in front of these other adults and look like a fool. But you're better actually going up there looking like a fool in front of adults and just say what you need to say than not to say it at all.
Yeah.
Because at least your voice will get heard.
Right.
And people will realize, like, hey, this person actually has something to say. Maybe let me talk to him on the side and be like, what you really need to get out. And then your council members will see you. They know that you care. They know that you have, you know what I mean, a voice. And something like that could snowball into a stronger community and actually getting things done.
That part.
So it's
That part.
really breaking down the fears of government. And then once you start to learn local government, then obviously you can, you know what I mean, you start to understand state government. And then you can worry about federal. But if you didn't play JV football, you're not gonna play on varsity.
Right.
And you damn sure not gonna make it and play in college.
Right.
And you damn sure not gonna get to the pros.
Facts.
Right? You gotta start somewhere.
We gotta stop skipping the process.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. You're right.
Yep.
You can't skip the process and expect all these instant results that you ain't earned. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. You didn't earn it. You know, I'll be honest. Hearing you speak, brother, it really magnifies the importance. Now I'm telling you, some of the stuff was just rebel. That's the nature, especially of our people, because of the adversity. We understand systematic racism is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
But we understand it.
Right, but what we don't understand is the power that we have and the freedom that we have.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much freedom, it just has to be strategic. And I always tell, here's what's connected to that freedom. Get your money right, man. Get your money right, because here's the thing. You can get into places and say things when your money's right, where people, come on, man, we're in a cancel culture type of era, right? And people are so afraid to speak. And that's because things can be taken from you. But when you got your money right, that's what they fear. When they say, oh man, don't mess with my money, I got family, right? The NFL player doesn't speak up and really stands out because, man, mess with my money. But if you Dave Chappelle it, you can get on stage and say, yo, before I speak and offend everybody, I'm rich. And y'all can't do nothing about it. And I'm not saying you have to be rich. You just have to have your foundation strong. So now that's going to give you confidence and courage to say, yo, I'm going to speak about this. And you know what? Let me give these politicians grace. They don't know all these issues exist. Like, we be making these assumptions. Like, hey, y'all just know every last problem that's going. No, they don't. You know how many people come in there wasting their time? They don't know these issues. So it takes one of us to say, you know what? There's a literacy issue going on in the schools. There's a lack of resources going on. You know what I mean? They don't know. You know how much. Listen.
Let me make this let me make this parallel within the military, right? So, you know, guys, I've been in the military. We have to up channel the issues we have on the lower level, right? You have your commanders, right? You have your group command, your wing commander, wing group commanders, and then you have your squadron commanders, and then you have your SELs, and then you have your employee, your in my case airmen, right? Your NCOs, senior NCOs, and younger airmen. If I have a problem with having resources on the flight line to fix certain pieces of equipment, I need to let my supervisor know of why I can't get these things done or get accomplished in a timely fashion, right? Or as effective as possible. Then that supervisor brings that to the section, to the superintendent of that squadron, and then that person brings it to the squadron commander, and then, you know, it goes from the group commander on up and on up and up and up. We have these weekly or monthly resource advisor meetings to discuss this money's being allocated. So to your guys' point, if you guys are on the ground level, making these politicians or making your needs known to these people of power, then these things will never get fixed. Right. That's what I get from the conversation. Now I'm just equating that because I understand how it is in the military, how money's being allocated. So it's really the same thing. You know what I mean? Just let your issues be known. You know what I'm saying? and then
persevere.
persevere, because sometimes it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take a season or two, you know what I'm saying, to get to what you need. Persevere, have patience, and and just dig your feet into the ground and do the best you can until that problem gets solved. But also at the same time, I'm about to say, brother, that point kind of threw me off. But you were right. It's good. What was I about to say? I forgot. But it's all good, man.
Okay.
It's all good.
Listen, we discussed so much so fast on here that you can sometimes get your thoughts all crisscrossed.
Yeah.
That was
We'll be
happening
talking
for me for a
about
minute.
sports.
Yeah.
We be talking about sports. The next thing we talking about jet fighters or something. It happens so fast.
Right.
You'd be like, man, what was I saying? But
Right.
I know what I meant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. Nah, one person can change the world.
That's
though.
right.
And that's what people need to understand, that one person absolutely can change the world. And you yourself hold the power in within yourself. You know, you've been ordained. You are blessed.
You can do it.
And people need to really understand that and know that the power that they do possess. And I do believe that even as adults, we get so inundated with life stresses, and then sometimes we or not even sometimes, people are in struggle mode, right? There's nothing but sheer survival. So then to worry about something as, man, let me go speak at my city hall, or city hall meeting, is so down on the totem pole.
Right.
Even if on the pole at all, right?
Right.
I mean, to say like, oh yeah, I'm worried about my safety in my neighborhood, or I'm worried about these potholes in these streets, or things like that. And you complain about it to your friends, to your family, but honestly, in that small complaint, take that same complaint and that same energy, and just take it up to City Hall. For real.
Do that. Do that too. Do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Do that too, right? Just add that extra layer. That same complaint. That same fire when you was on the phone talking to your mom, or talking to your
talking all left out the side of your face. Take that energy to go do something.
At the City Hall.
Yeah,
Facts.
For sure.
Because they be in the room like, what just happened?
Hey, but listen, just want to wrap up this segment, but real quick, I just want to make this note that the Mickey Sherrill's administration, they are denying the Department of Justice to, with certain records or information, straight up denial. They won't allow any further. Basically saying that they don't have the authority to do so. I mean, I don't know the details about it, but that's where not Mickey Sherrill herself, but her administration is saying like, no, we're not going to. Which is my personal opinion, a reflection of Mickey Sherrill. Because if you know this, then what are you doing to cooperate with all this? But I don't know. But
so what? I know we finished up this topic, but will that lead into, which it always does lead into, right? So the federal government tries to step in, the state government says, no, we're not giving you that. And then it turns into a money and funding thing, because they'll always say like, oh, you're not going to turn us over the documents. Oh, we're going to limit this funding for this program, or we're going to limit the funding for that for the state program from the federal government. And it always turn into a money game every single time.
Pettiness. Oh, you don't want it? Okay. Next fiscal year, you want? Oh, okay. Oh, where did that money go? Well, where did that money go? Yeah, yeah. It's petty.
Yeah,
but listen. But in closing, right? To make it clear, right? Every eligible citizen should be able to vote, and if you're not eligible to vote, then you shouldn't be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? Based according to the law, right?
Law of the land. That's it.
That is the
law. What happened? You heard it. Who's responsible is under investigation. We'll find out who's responsible.
Right.
Software saying it's not us. It's the state, and the state saying it's not us. It's the software company.
Right. That's
I don't know. But I do know one thing, that, it's under investigation, and the question is, how can we prevent it from happening again? So more to come on that. I'll pay close attention to that, see what's going on. And yeah, man. So, this is Jack of all trades. Like, share, subscribe. We here to, talk about topics that no one's really talking about, give a voice for the regular people who has a lot to say but feel like they're not being heard. This is the platform for it. All right. Jack of all trades. Like, share, and subscribe.
Jack of all trades, I move how I move.